if we take a look at the mesocycle that we just mentioned for squat, that was a lot of volume. And if somebody's not used to that volume and they go ahead and they jump into that, let's say they're not prepared, they've had a week off of training, and they jump right into that, it's going to be hard for them to complete it. I'm sure we've all written out training programs for ourselves or for our clients where we have that. And then we get into week 1 and we do the first day and we feel pretty good, but then we go back in on Wednesday, from Monday to Wednesday for the same exercise, and we're pretty sore. Or we go in week 2 where we can't quite complete all of the volume that we have allocated. The reason that you might not be able to complete it is because you didn't elicit the repeated bout effect. The way you elicit the repeated bout effect, the attenuation or decreasing of muscle damage, is by doing an introductory cycle, and we first alluded to this in Unit 2. So if we take a look at this basic figure here, we can see muscle soreness, right? Muscle soreness, an indirect marker of damage, is very high in response to week 1 of training. It's very low in response to week 2, right? When the same exercise or muscle-specific exercise was repeated. So I strongly urge you, right, before you do a volume block or really any training block, to implement an introductory cycle similar to what we have up here. So you can see here, in this introductory cycle, we have 3 sets of 8 at 65% on Monday, 4 sets of 6 at 70% on Wednesday, and then 5 sets of 4 at 75% on Friday. 3 sets of 8 at 65%, if you go in the gym, that's probably going to be an RP of 5 at most or less. And that's going to only take you maybe 20 minutes to do on one exercise, even shorter if you have to. So this is very easy. So if you take in a volume block your RPs of 5 to 8, your RPs should probably be around 4 to 5 in an introductory microcycle. I like to do that by taking off a set. So if we go right back here, we can see for just one moment, we have 4 sets of 8 on day 1 Monday, okay? And that's at 70%. So now if we scroll back, we can see in our intro cycle, we have 3 sets of 8 at 65%. That's 1 less set, and that's 5% less intensity. So as a general rule for an introductory cycle, I would take off 1 to 2 sets and 5 to 10% of what you're going to do in the first week of the block. It's going to be really easy. But remember, we also talked about in Unit 1 that working hard wasn't just crushing it. Crushing it is actually easy. Say, hey, I'm going to go to the gym today and just absolutely kill it. Put my music on, focus, and just kill it. And that's great, and you need to do that a lot of the time. But crushing it is also being very, very smart about what you're doing and knowing from experience, if I go into that introductory cycle, if I go into that volume block without an introductory cycle, it's not going to go well. If I give my client a volume block, right, it's not going to go well without an introductory cycle. You need to be smart. You need to be disciplined enough to take the hard road. And the hard road is to take it easy sometimes with your training, to keep those RPs in check and to keep that introductory cycle. The goal here is to elicit the repeated bout effect and protect against muscle damage. So when you or your client does jump into that block, they're able to complete it effectively. You're not going to get weaker from doing 1 week of intro. I know it's hard. I've been there as well. And I still make the mistake sometimes. And your client is going to see your intro cycle and they're going to say, this is easy. I don't want to do that. It's your job to communicate to them effectively why they need it.